Hey all. First of all, thank you, Deepa, for this great introduction, and thanks, Ajit, for taking all of us through this. And hey, everyone. And I'm aware of this. So basically, I work as a software engineer at HackerRank. And again, with Hacker, exactly, I don't work as a hacker, but yeah. So this platform is named HackerRank. So it is a different platform in terms of that. But yeah, if you have any queries later on when we go through the different slides, I'm happy to answer that. Okay, so going forward, I'll mainly be talking about these career paths that we go through over the journey, right? Now, before I start with this, I would first like to tell you more about myself in terms of why I exactly landed over here. Like for me, it was mostly like from my childhood. I had seen computers. Reason being, my father is already a computer teacher, so he was into this. So as soon as I was there, I was like seeing computers around me. I was able to understand what is going over here and there, and soon I developed interest naturally for computers. Right. This is how I decided. Like, okay, I'll pursue BTech and CS, and I'll go ahead to become a software engineer. But the journey is not always straightforward, as Ajit already mentioned. You don't always need a CS degree. You don't always need a BCA degree to be a software engineer in that sense. People from different backgrounds, even commerce maybe, they have transformed into these career paths and have become an engineer or maybe business analyst or something. So it is more like a convention that we usually follow because this is what gives you a clear path that okay, you'll do a BTech or some degree and you will reach to this particular stage. And there's alternative path where you do courses here and there and reach to the other state, right? Now let's talk about software engineering, what it means. But before that, let me ask you one question. I am sure, like all of you, like I'm very sure all of you must have seen how a house is built, right? So you must have seen in your neighborhood or maybe for yourself when a house is being built. I want to understand from you what are the different processes that go in building a house. So one I can start with is you first think about how you will design the house. Like it will have two floors, like one floor will be for you and your siblings, one floor will be for your grandparents or something. Similarly, you think okay, there this will be a kitchen, this will be a bathroom, and so forth and so on. Like anyone, just you can unmute and tell me what other things do you think happens when you are thinking of building a house. This is important because I will be using this as an example to share a few things later. Anyone who would like to go ahead?
They're answering in chat, Apoorv. It's good
Okay.
foundation, first making pillars,
Oh wow, that's so apt actually. Yes.
later mending the wall.
Okay. Okay. That's good, Akash, Darshini. Cool. I think that's great. So you build a foundation when you are going to build a house. जिसे कहते हैं नींव रखना in Hindi. So similarly, you go ahead, then you build the pillars. You make that whole structure. Once you have made the structure, then you go forward and ask the builder to okay, go ahead and you can start the painting and all once the structure is there and so forth and so on. When your house is ready, you do inspection, you check if everything is okay or not, if it is built according to the way you might have thought, the way you might have already planned it, right? And if you see like okay, this kitchen door is not set properly or something, you'll ask that okay, can you please fix this or something, and here's your house ready. Okay, can you move to the next slide, Sheetal? So this actually is very similar to what software engineering means. So Ajit really explains it well, and I think you must have got an idea that a software engineering is not just engineering a whole product, engineering a whole system in terms of software or hardware, but it is engineering, like it is basically building something which involves critical thinking. You think what you need to build, just like you were thinking how you have to build your own house. Then once you have thought of this, you start building, just like your house is being built. Once the house is built, similarly in software engineering, once you have written the code, once you have written the code for the application that you are trying to build, you think, okay, if there's something which is going wrong or have I missed something, you check if everything is working fine or not, which is a part of testing it. And once you are okay, everything looks good to me, I can go ahead and we can just start using it. So similarly, you start living in your house, right? This is a very similar example of how software engineering relates to building of a house. And I'm trying to relate it as much as I can so that it becomes easier for you to relate. And like just stay uptight because you will be having a like quiz session later on based on whatever I'm going to tell you over here, so make sure you pay attention. Okay, if this is very clear to you, I would like to move to the next slide. Okay, so can you all just see and just have a look at this. So this is basically Apple's MacBook website. This is not something I have built. Basically, this is what Apple has built, the company, for their MacBook laptops. So can we just replay this, Cheetal? Okay, thank you. What I want you all to see is what exactly is appealing to you in this whole website. Can you just write in chat box, or if you want, you can unmute yourself. Like, what do you really feel good about this website as soon as you see this? Okay, animation. Exactly, yeah, that's very cool. That rotating laptop, I really like that as well. What else? Okay, so clarity. Okay, yes, actually, so this is much more cleaner. I think that's a very good point, Akash. Like things are not cluttered and like text is not put all together. It has spacing and everything, which is a very good thing. So this what you are just seeing right now is the front end of this website of Apple. So what front end actually means, whatever you are seeing on your computer screen right now is front end, be it google.com, be it Google Meets that you are using right now. So everything is a part of front end that you are able to see and interact with. What do I mean by interaction? So like you are typing and sending a message in the chat box. This is more like you're interacting with Google Meets. You're trying to type something and you're sending it, and you're able to see a response from the website, right? So this brings us to a next role that we are going to discuss in terms of engineering is front-end engineering. Okay. Now you must be wondering why I have used a restaurant or cafe image along with this front-end engineering. Okay, I'll actually make it simpler for you. So just like when you enter a restaurant, right? So let's say tomorrow you go to some restaurant and you feel, okay, wow, this looks amazing. The furniture is really good, and the like all the chefs are really behaving nice to you. There are good lightings and everything all over the place. So that makes you really feel like, okay, if everything looks good about this place, that really means food might also be good, right? So this is more like what you see in front of you. You don't know behind the scenes what food is going to be served to you, whether it is as good as what you are trying to think about based on the experience you are having when you enter the hotel, right? So this is the front end of that particular restaurant that you're seeing right now. Similarly, you try to make your front end more and more attractive, more and more user friendly when you are building an application. So just like you see MacBook, right? Their application, their website is really good. You immediately feel that urge. Okay, I need to scroll. I need to see what all is there on their website so that I can interact with it, and that really improves the experience. So front-end engineering, in short, is all about creating these user-friendly websites and their whole UI, which in short is like user interface, which in short is UI, and you basically try to make it as good as possible. Right? Let's go ahead and see, is front end is the only thing that you build, or is there something else as well? Sheetal, can we move to the next slide? Thank you. Now, this is something very, very strange, right? Why I'm talking about an API. API is application programming interface. Krishna, are you saying something? Okay. If not, we can go ahead. If you have any doubts, please write it in the chat box. So, what is an API? Application Programming Interface. So, think of this API, and I will relate this to the hotel example again. You have a waiter, right? So think about the same restaurant you just entered. It was a lavish restaurant. You just sit, and a waiter comes to you and asks you, sir or ma'am, what would you like to order? So you tell him, okay, I would like to order maybe idli sambar along with some masala dosa and puran poli or something, right? And that waiter writes your order, takes it back to the reception and tell them, okay, this is the order for table number one, and that reception will now get your order ready from the chefs and cooks which are working behind the scenes. And as soon as the food is ready, that will be served to you on your table. Okay. Now here comes the second part. What is the waiter acting like over here, right? So waiter is acting as a medium between you and the chefs. It is taking your order to the chef, and from the chef, it is getting your dish, which was basically mentioned in the order, and bringing back to you. This is what an API does. So what an API is nothing but just a mediator between your front end basically the website that you are seeing right now, and your backend. Backend is basically your database server, what Ajit told you about, where we store all the data. So it is basically acting as a mediator between your backend and front end, and getting whenever you ask your API, okay, I want to get this data. So let's say you go to let's say Google search, right? You type something, you say, what is software engineering? So as soon as you type what is software engineering and hit enter, your waiter or your API takes that request to Google's backend servers. That backend server will acknowledge, okay, some like this person has asked for what is software engineering. Using the data it has already, it will see, okay, what results I can send this person to in the front end, and so that they can see whatever search results are there for this particular search, right? So what it will do, it will collate all the results related to what is software engineering, send it back via the waiter or the API to the front end, which you see as your search results. So whatever you see, like top 10 search results, top 20 search results in Google, these are the order that is brought back from the API or waiter per se. So this is basically all about API, and why I mentioned this is because it is very important to know what is actually going behind the scenes when you are interacting with something, right? If this is very, very clear to you, I need a hand raised from people who understand it well, or a yes or no in the chat box. Great, great. Okay, that sounds good. Can we move to the next slide? Okay. So as I talked about backend engineering, I think now it will be very, very clear to you what backend engineering is all about. So it is basically managing your data that is present in the backend servers and creating these APIs, which I was just relating with the waiters, to get all the data from your backend and send it to the front end. So backend engineering is maintaining all this data, these APIs, which is being used by the front end to get the data and perform some operations, right? Think of it like again similar like a chef who prepares your order. I think this is very, very clear right now because you already know what an API means. So I think we can go ahead and talk more about how this backend engineering works in picture. Yeah. So just like I think all of you use WhatsApp, right? I am sure there's no one who doesn't use WhatsApp. If you don't, yeah, that's even great because I know a couple of people who don't. So WhatsApp, if you know already, many of you might know is as an mobile app. So you go to Play Store and you download WhatsApp from there and you use it. So what we call these as apps, right? So mobile app developer is yet another role that you can take forward and pursue going like after your graduation or during your graduations, uh, um, where you actually build these applications like WhatsApp, Google Maps, Gmail, etc., which are handy on your phones. Okay, now these mobile applications are not a lot different from your websites. It is just that what you are building in a website is meant for bigger screens, while these applications are meant for smaller screens. That is true that there are a lot of things that are different in terms of what technology is used to build this application in mobile and what technology is used to build this application in web. But overall, from a holistic point of view, both of them act in a similar fashion. If you see on your screens right now, I have put two screenshots. One is of a mobile, which has WhatsApp, and the other is a monitor, basically a laptop, which shows WhatsApp. So I don't know how many you have used WhatsApp Web, but uh, WhatsApp Web is something. Uh, so WhatsApp Web is something which is provided as a website so that you can use WhatsApp on your laptop as well. So now this WhatsApp on your mobile and laptop is the same. You get the same messages on WhatsApp mobile. You get the same messages on your WhatsApp web. But like in process, if you see, the developers who might have built this application might be different. So the one who built this mobile app is a mobile app developer. The other one who built this web app, which is your WhatsApp on your laptop that you can use, might be a software engineer, okay, or might be a full stack developer. So this is basically all about what a mobile app developer is. Again, it is not very much different. So yeah, I think that must be very, very clear. Can we move ahead? Okay. Now, I want you to just wait for per se uh, 30 seconds and look at this picture. Then write in the chat box or unmute yourself to tell me what is happening here. What do you really feel is happening over here? I'm sure a lot of people might be thinking what these pictures are all about, but I'm really fond of having pictures and everything so that it becomes visual. Okay, Darshani says the kitchen is very messy. Suma also says the kitchen is very messy. Actually, it's all messy. And that's where this rhyme comes from. Mess, mess everywhere. Chef is in despair. Pots clang, orders hang, no time to repair. So think of this again from the restaurant example. Let's go back. You remember you went to a restaurant, you ordered food, right? But something went wrong. When you were ordering food and chef was preparing it, something went wrong in the kitchen. It maybe the pipeline burst, or maybe some particular food that you were that the chef was making uh, didn't work well, right? And or maybe oil spilled all over the place by mistake. So something went wrong, and kitchen had become a mess. Now the problem is you as a customer is waiting for your order while you're not aware that in the kitchen everything is messed up. Like your order is on halt because they are working to fixing things first, and then they will be able to work on your order. So in this particular case, the hotel manager or the restaurant manager might be coming to you and telling you, okay sir, there's some problem over there, and your order might be a bit late or something, right? So why these things even happen, right? Think of it in terms of your website. Tomorrow when you're using or website or any app, tomorrow let's say you're using WhatsApp and suddenly your internet is on, still you're not able to send messages. It basically might mean that something has went wrong on WhatsApp, on their servers, or maybe in the application itself, because of which you are not able to send messages or receive messages. Now, who who is responsible to test these things whenever you are building an application? So whenever you build an application, it is very important to test if this application will work properly in all the scenarios, or it is possible that it might break. Basically, it might fail. It may not respond in some situations. Going to the next slide, we will know who these people are who work on these kind of things. So QA engineers, that comes under QA engineering. QA in full form is quality assurance. So basically, these engineers work to ensure that whatever software you are delivering, whatever app you are delivering, is of high quality. So they make sure that they do all sort of testing on your website, on your application, so that it doesn't break in any scenario. Just like you saw in the previous example of kitchen, things were in a mess, right? It is because someone might have made some mistake because of which everyone was suffering. Similarly, if you as a developer might make some mistake, it is the responsibility of you as well as the QA engineer, when you're trying to build a website, that they make sure nothing is gonna break when someone is using your website or your application. Okay, so QA engineer again are someone who tests your application end to end so that it doesn't break and everything works smoothly for the end user. I really want to understand if this is very, very clear to you and we can move ahead, or anyone needs any clarification. Oh, by the way, Krishna, you also mentioned food is spilled. Yes, actually, you can raise your hands or put in chat if you have any queries or something. Okay, so that's quality assurance, Suma. QA is quality assurance. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Now, okay, Darshani is asking for the recording of this session. I think someone can mention in the chat box and answer the same. So going ahead, let's talk about what a data scientist, data engineer, or a data analyst mean. Now, I think since we already know much about these front end, back end engineer, QA, here comes the role of someone who are like the real heroes, which are who are sitting behind the scenes and reading your mind. Now, I can give you a very simple example. I have seen this, and I would like you also to observe the same. If you will see and notice, let's say today you're talking about something. Let's say you're talking about sports a lot. You might be talking about your like cricket a lot today, or IPL. And let's say you are searching something on Google, or you are checking your YouTube playlist. You are trying to search for some video in YouTube on the homepage, or you are trying to go through Instagram or something. It is very likely that you might find a lot of posts regarding cricket, or a lot of videos on YouTube regarding cricket as recommendations. So where these recommendations come from? In a lot of apps or websites, you might have seen recommendations. So these recommendations are coming from a lot of hard work which is going behind the scene. Once a front-end engineer, back-end engineer makes an application, it is not ending there, right? There's a lot of things that is that have to be done with the data that is present. So when you're using WhatsApp and or not WhatsApp, actually, when you're using YouTube, let's say today you will play like let's say five videos regarding cricket or IPL matches. So the very next day, tomorrow, you will see more videos suggested for IPL or cricket instead of basketball or football, which is basically because YouTube is able to read that you are interested in more IPL or cricket videos rather than basketball or football videos. Okay, so data scientists have the job of getting all this data and applying different algorithms. Algorithm is different logic or sequence of logic to fetch and understand how a user is behaving with the application, and based on your behavior, based on anyone's behavior with the application, they are able to uh, get some analysis out of that, okay, and use that to provide you recommendations, for example, okay. Now, how a data engineer, data analyst is different from data scientist. So a data engineer is the one who collects data, who has the responsibility of collating all the data from different sources. So right now, if you're using Google Meet, uh, you might not know, but a lot of things are being tracked over here, like how is the sound quality, how is the network bandwidth, are you experiencing some delay, maybe uh, like Krishna might be hearing my voice after 1 second, but Darshani might be able to hear my voice immediately. So all these kind of things or metrics are being recorded at this particular time. They might be, and this is all a part of a data engineer's job, who makes sure that he is able to collect all this data and get some insight out of it. And data analysts, again, they analyze all this data collected by these different sources and try to get some analysis out of it as to how this data can be used for further processing. Okay, let's move to the next slide and see what we have. Okay, so this is more like a differentiation as to what a data engineer does and what a business analyst does. Business analyst or per se data analyst, I'm not going into specificity of that right now, but data scientist somewhere lies between both of them because they use the logic that data engineer has written to get all the data, while they use the analysis that is coming from the business analyst to provide better algorithms and provide better models which can be used to recommend you better videos or better results going forward. Okay, so this is very clear. Let's go ahead and see what we have. Okay, here comes yet, I think, the last role that we are going to talk about today: cloud DevOps engineer. So as you can see on your screen, cloud DevOps engineers like the manager of a train system, ensuring that everything runs smoothly, securely, and efficiently. Uh, this might sound a lot to you. Let's make it simpler. So think of uh, basically think of a station, like basically your railway junction. Okay, so how do you think they are able to manage so many trains all the time, right? So one train is coming, one train is leaving. So for stations like New Delhi, for stations like Mumbai or something, they are very busy station. You can't make any mistake where two trains are coming in front of each other at one particular time. Your calculation should be very precise as to which train is coming on which track and when it is leaving, so that another other train can come on the same track. All these things require a lot of logistics. It requires a lot of different kind of analysis and different kind of on time data, so that you are able to figure out and like what is the perfect way of scheduling different trains for different times. So what does a cloud DevOps engineer do? They make sure all these. So let's not talk about cloud DevOps engineer. Let's talk about station master. So this station master is a job in these railways. So they have a duty of making sure the trains are coming on time, passengers are not having any delays, the services provided you in the train is very good. So these are part of even higher jobs in railway sector. So let's let's bring it back to the cloud DevOps engineer role. So what a cloud DevOps engineer does, similar to your trains, you have your web applications which are running like for 24 hours. It's not like they run for 9 to 5 and then they are shut down. They are running 24 hours. So who behind the scenes is looking after that? You are not awake 24 hours to look after whether your website is working properly or not. So cloud DevOps engineer deploys these solutions. They create these solutions which make sure that your application is running smoothly. Tomorrow, let's say your application doesn't work because of some reason, right? Let's say tomorrow Google is not working for some reason. So there must be some solution already present in the like present in their particular system, which makes sure that it is still available to you. So it doesn't break for you even when something is wrong on Google's side. So Cloud DevOps Engineer, in short, again, they manage this whole uh, backend and front end system, and they make sure that they run smoothly and everything is working perfectly. I'm not going into the details of this. With cloud, I think when I was at least I was in 10th or ninth class, I used to think cloud is something related to cloud, that we are doing these cloud technologies and all, which is very nice. So cloud is something which is more like a relative term we use with cloud DevOps engineer. It basically means your data is lying somewhere, you even don't know. It might be in Australia, it might be in America, it might be in South Africa. So because you can't put your data in your laptop always and serve it to the millions of users who are using it, but we can dive deeper into it in later sessions. For now, I think this is good enough for you to get a head start. So let's go ahead and see what we have. Can you move to the next slide, please? Okay, seems like it is a quiz time, and let's see what you have learned so far. So let's go to the next slide. You will have a question on the screen, and you have to make sure that you just enter A, B, C, or D in the chat box, and then we'll see who has answered it correctly. Okay, let's go to the next slide and see the first question for the day. I'll repeat the question for you. Who in the software development process would be similar to a restaurant chef who follows recipes to prepare dishes and ensures the kitchen runs smoothly? So, question basically means that who among these A, B, C, D option is similar to a chef in a restaurant who follows recipes to prepare some dishes, and that chef also ensures that kitchen is running smoothly. So you have to answer A, B, C, or D, any of the one options in the chat box. So Krishna says B, this is backend engineer. Okay, what else? Come on, you just have to write A, B, C, or D. You don't have to write the complete thing. Go ahead, answer. Just don't think about what is going to be the right answer. I think we'll figure it out. Kavinesh says B, Suma says B. Okay, Wells. Okay, so let's go to the next slide and see what the answer is. So yes, this is backend engineer. A backend engineer, as we already talked about, he's more like a chef who is working behind the scenes, preparing our dishes and making sure everything is just perfect, right? So thank you for this answer. Let's go to the next slide and see the next question. So who in the software development process would be similar to a librarian who organizes and manages books, ensuring that library visitors can easily find what they're looking for? So basically, who in the software development process is similar to a librarian. So a librarian is the one who manages books in a library, so that the visitors of that library are able to find the books, whatever they are looking for, easily. So your options are A, front-end engineer, B, back-end engineer, C, mobile app developer, and D, QA engineer. Please go ahead and write your answer in the chat box. It starts to feel like I am doing KBC on Manaya Karolpati type things, A, B, C, and D. But okay, we are not providing any rewards over here. Cool. Krishna says A, front end engineer. Who else? I think there can be a lot more different answers for this. Maybe try this. Okay, Sumo also says A. A lot of fans of A this time. Who else? Kavinesh, Venkatesh, Kangana, anyone? Okay, cool. Let's check the answer. Yes, it is front-end engineer. Great guess, Krishna and Suma. Yeah, front-end engineer is the one who makes sure everything is just picture perfect when you enter some particular place or enter the website. So yeah, that's the right answer. Let's see the last question of the day. Okay, no worries, Venkatesh. That's totally fine. Um, if a movie director ensures that all parts of the film, from the script to the final editing, meet the desired quality standards, which role in software development process would they be most similar to? So, is it A, front end engineer, back end engineer, B, C, mobile app developer, D, QA engineer? So, Vinesh says QA engineer D. Okay, who else? I think this is the most easiest, or maybe the easiest question that I've asked so far because it's giving you a lot of hints already. So, anyone? Suma, your answer? Anyone else? Okay, so Krishna also says QA. Let's check what the answer is. And yes, it is QA engineer only. Exactly, that's what you have guessed correctly, and I'm really happy that you all have guessed it correctly. So let's see. Yeah, so I think we are at the end of all the questions. And congratulations, you did it. You finally went through all the details that have been shared with you today, all the information, and I think this will really help you going ahead. So yeah, I think I'll pause over here and over to you, Sheetal and Deepa. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Apur. Students, I think you have got a very good insight from Apurva and Ajit. I could say we have an unseen side of software engineer. So we really understood there is a mess behind every polished thing we are seeing. So I appreciate Apu for the perfect analogy and the example you gave for the kids for better understanding. So we got right from the flow chart till the QA, everything. So kids got a very good information. And students, this is time for you. You can ask whatever doubts you have and whatever clarity you need to get on your career. This is open to you now. You can go ahead. If you are having difficulty in unmuting the mic and asking, you can type in the question. So feel free to ask all your doubts, make use of the session.
Sir, what is a word, sir?
Sorry, I didn't get your question, Krishna. Maybe
Sir,
Ajit.
means what, sir? What Excel, PowerPoint?
Uh, Apurva is saying MS Word.
Okay, got it. Okay, okay. Uh, so, can you like clarify as to what exactly you want to ask? Like what MS Word or MS PowerPoint mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ajit, would you like to answer or should I go ahead?
Apurva, Ajit has left. Go ahead.
Okay, okay, got it. So, MS Word or MS PowerPoint, these are the softwares provided to you by Microsoft, and these are basically your MS Word is somewhere you can write the whole document. You can write anything. You can create different. You can say articles over there or letters. All these things you can do in Word. Similarly, MS Excel is another software provided to you by Microsoft, where you can record your data. So, if you see Excel sheet today, it is similar to how you store your data in a database. So you have your column, you type name column, you type email column. Inside name, you will write name. So I think you must have seen your registers in college or in your school where your teacher used to write name and then your attendance, present or absent, something like that. So your sheet is similar to that, like in a table format. Then, if you talk about MS PowerPoint is used for creating slides and presentation. So just like you saw in today's session, that you had a slide and you were able to go through different slides and see information on your screen. This can be done using PowerPoint. I think MS Excel, PowerPoint, Word I have already covered. Is there anything left that you also want to know?
I think that helps, Krishna. And now Suma has asked, can you say what we have to take after our second PU to become software engineer like path?
And what exactly PU means?
Uh,
12th grade.
Pre-university. It's their 11th and 12th.
Okay, 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 got it. Thanks a lot for this. So, can you say what we have to take after? Now, that's a very dicey question. I think Sheetal, maybe you would want to answer this, and maybe I can add to this.
No, so I think all you have to understand is that you have taken science with PCMC, physics, chemistry, maths, that is expected, and then you have to take your BTech exams. Bachelor of Technology, but there are other options like you can actually go for Bachelor of Computer Applications plus MCA, or you can do BSc in IT. I think don't worry, we will be discussing all this from June onwards with all of you. But this is just to tell you in case for a quick question, answering our quick question. But from June, this all will be discussing much details. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
Also, I would like to request participants to give your feedback on the session parallelly. By the time when others ask the questions, you can type in your feedback on the session, how useful it was. And the link is given in the comments, the chat box. You can go through. And students, is there any other questions that you need to be answered? Venkatesh, Krishna, I guess that's it. We have one more question, Apur. Sir, does IT field have great future for present generation? Do we get jobs since there are so many implementations towards advanced AI?
Venkatesh, first of all, I would really like to thank you for you asked this question. Reason being, this is because like this is basically a trendy question at this particular time, when you can hear and see artificial intelligence everywhere. Like it's all around the place, and I think this question that you just mentioned translates to, like, going forward in the future, is AI taking over your jobs, or you will still have jobs in this engineering or IT field, right? So a very basic understanding is, it is how you see AI, right? If you see artificial intelligence as a tool, it is never going to take away any jobs from you as such. So it will never make you like it will never leave you at a place where you won't have any jobs in the market. But if you see AI as an enemy who has come from some other planet and is just trying to take over you, I think that's where you are wrong. I'm not saying you are wrong, but that's where anyone is wrong. Because AI, when used as a tool, so today you have Chat GPT, where you can put some question, it will give you any answer from all around the world. Similarly, you have Delhi. Delhi is basically your software, or you can say website, where you can type something and it will generate an image using that. Midjourney is a similar app for this. So all these tools going forward, when you use them in your daily life, it will help you become more productive. So let's say tomorrow when you will look for a software engineering job, you might see in the job description that they are asking for someone who might have experience with some AI tools and working around with some AI tools, so that he or she is better at their job. It is not like tomorrow AI will come and it will write a whole application for you, which will just go into production and everyone and millions of users will be using it. It is possible today. AI is able to create applications, but again, software engineers are required to review that code. They are required to build on top of that code, on top of all those applications, and taking care that these applications are scaled so that a lot of users, millions of trillions of users can use these applications, right? So that is the whole point. Like again, AI is not going to take away your job. It's possible it might remove some intermediary jobs as such, but it's not going to take away the market. It will only create new jobs and new opportunities, because it is helping you, even a commerce background student, to learn computer science and learn software engineering today. Because of AI, anyone from any background today can learn anything. So even you as an engineer can go ahead and might learn some new skill like uh, how to make art and everything, right? So this is all possible because of AI. So again, it is only going to make like bring new jobs in the market and enable more people to get into the job market. That's what I think.
Thanks, Apur. So I think Venkatesh question is answered and he's clear with this with a response. And Venkatesh is again, sir, I am from commerce background. After finishing my second PUC, it is better suggest to take BCA and MCA to get into this field.
Yeah, I
Means I
think
think he
that's
is asking after he is from commerce background in 11th and 12th commerce stream. So is it okay to take BCA and MCA after his 12th?
I think I'll take it up. Yeah, so that's fine. So he has to take a BC and MC, and that's the right path for him. Take an integrated course that you finish it in 5 years.
Yeah, hope that helps, Venkatesh.